Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a text that takes on one of the biggest questions out there, and it looks for the answer in the world all around us. We're talking everything from a tiny seed to the most amazing animals.
So the text we're looking at today kicks things off with this huge question. And it points out that, sometimes it really feels like everything, from the stars in the sky to our own lives, has been laid out by some kind of hidden, super smart power.
And the author's answer to that? It's a big, loud yes. They propose that there's something they call the greatest creator. So, okay, let's jump into the evidence they lay out to back this up. First stop, the natural world. Okay, so the first piece of the puzzle here is all about animal instincts. The text argues these aren't just learned behaviors. Nope. It says they're like these built-in, pre-programmed skills, basically gifted to them by this creator. And I mean, the text just rattles off this amazing list of complex stuff animals do. What's so wild when you look at these examples is just how different and specialized they all are. The whole point here is that these skills are, way too complex, too perfect, to just be an accident of evolution. They have to be proof of some kind of intelligent designer.
And to really drive the point home, the author brings up some seriously powerful examples. Get this, the American eel. It can zap out a whopping 880 volts. I mean, that's just presented as this unbelievable, almost miraculous ability. Something way beyond what you'd think an animal could just come up with on its own.
Right, and this next part is really the core of the whole argument. The text draws this great analogy. It says admiring an animal's instinct is kind of like being amazed that an airplane can fly, but totally ignoring the engineers who designed and built it. The idea is that the instinct isn't the animal's own smarts, but it's a reflection of the wisdom of whoever made the animal.
Okay, so let's move on to the second major piece of evidence. The argument starts to get bigger here. The author shifts gears and looks at the plant world, specifically at these clever tricks, or stunts, as the text calls them, that plants use to get their seeds out there.
And to explain this, the author uses this memory that I think we've all had, right? They talk about blowing on a dandelion and seeing all those seeds just drift away, like hundreds of tiny paratroopers, each one with this perfect little umbrella designed to grab the wind and find a new place to land. It's a great image.
And here's another great example, the hitchhiker. So the text explains how plants like the cocklebur have this, the author calls it a very clever design. These barbed bristles just grab onto the fur of any animal that brushes by, getting a free ride to a whole new territory.
So after throwing out a few more examples, and yes, some fruits literally explode to spread their seeds, the author asks the big question, and it's really meant to make you choose. Did these plants just figure all this out on their own? Or were these stunts designed by someone who made them in the first place?
Okay, so this is where it all comes together. The big question is, how do you explain all this incredible complexity in nature? The author really hammers home their point by comparing the things we make to the natural world.
And this right here, this is the core of the argument. Think about it. When we see a complex machine, like a computer, we automatically know it's a product of human smarts, right? We don't say, wow, what a wise computer. So the author's question is pretty simple. Why don't we do the same thing when we look at the natural world?
And to wrap things up, the text leaves us with one last, really provocative thought. It's another analogy, and it's definitely designed to make you think. This last quote really challenges how we see things. It says, when a dog sees a robot working, it probably thinks the robot itself is super smart, because the dog has no idea a person built it. And then it asks, so why do we think a weaver bird is unbelievably clever? The final question is a powerful one. When we give all the credit to the bird, are we really thinking any differently than the dog?